Ndị be anyị ndewonu. Ọ bụ Ada Igbo na-ekwu na Igbo Media. N'Igbo Media, anyị na-ewetara unu ọtụtụ ozi gbasara ihe na-emegasị na Biafraland, n'ala Igbo na mba ndị ọzọ. N'ụbọchị nke taata, o nwere ihe bịara n'iru akwụkwọ anyị nke anyị ga-agụpụtara unu n'ụbọchị taa. Anyị gụpụtachaa ya, unu egee ya ka ọha n'uju. Ị ga-esie ya, ị drọpụọla your comment, like kwa this our video and gbasakwa ya ka o ruo ụmụnna anyị n'ebe dị iche iche arụ. Ozi anyị wetara ntata si n'aka otu nwanne anyị nwoke, a Biafra activist. Dịka o si wetara anyị ozi ya n'iru akwụkwọ, ọ dere sị: Kanu's life sentence received with disappointment. Ngoladi says this on Arise TV. Ya bụ ozi ka anyị ji bịa tata na Igbo Media. Ị ga-esi ya bụ ozi, gbaa mbọ gwa anyị iche ma mekwa ka ozi alụta ụmụnna anyị n'ebe dị iche iche aka. Ngwa gere ya ka ọha n'uju.
News. The southeastern parts of Nigeria have been something of a boiling pot ever since Nnamdi Kanu, the now imprisoned leader of the proscribed indigenous peoples of Biafra, launched his separatist agenda a few years ago. Things took a turn for the worse when he was arrested and charged by the Nigerian government for subversive activities. Just this past week, Kanu was finally committed to prison, having been found guilty on all of the 7 charges preferred against him by the state. As the dust begins to settle on this matter, many are wondering how his elimination from the public life can begin to affect the security and political trajectory of the Southeast geopolitical zone. Joining us now to have a conversation around all of this is Dr. Ngoladi, Secretary General, Forum for Southeast Academic Doctors. Good morning and thank you for joining on the show, Dr. Uzo.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. Well, I'd like to know first.
Good morning and thank you for having me.
Fantastic. Thank you for joining us. I'd like to know first your immediate reaction to the life imprisonment sentence handed to Nnamdi Kanu and your opinion of what this verdict represents. Do you believe it represents justice or a missed opportunity for dialogue? I know that many Nigerians, especially those in the Southeast, have expressed concern over what they see as an uneven application of justice, and some have described Nnamdi Kanu's life sentence as a glaring example of the federal government's uneven application of justice when compared to other cases of armed agitation, especially from terrorists in the north.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak on the life imprisonment of Nnamdi Kanu, whereby the court have found him guilty. So I'll be speaking for the Southeast and all the people who have been hopeful that this judgment would kind of be a relief whereby Nnamdi Kanu will be released. So the feeling generally is that of disappointment and disillusionment. And it cuts across all the socioeconomic status in the Southeast. Both the political leaders, thought leaders, elites, the academia, the average citizen in the Southeast, the Igbo, you can feel their their sense, that sense of disappointment. You can see that graveyard silence. You know that Igbos generally are not known to be violent people. We are more business inclined. The Igbo land has the highest number of entrepreneurs. So we are not violent people. And since that verdict was handed down to Nnamdi Kanu on Friday, they've been waiting to see the next step. The Igbo man does not believe that Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist. In fact, as a matter of fact, they view Nnamdi Kanu as an agitator, a freedom fighter. They see his ideologies as that of someone who is a catalyst for change, who is fighting for the marginalization of Ndi Igbo within the political space of Nigeria. So everyone was hopeful, even though we are still keeping the hope alive, believing that his matter will be resolved politically instead of this punitive measure, which has not really helped the matter. As a matter of fact, the judgment has increased the followership of Nnamdi Kanu. A lot of Southeasterners who were before now were kind of indifferent to the matter. There's an awareness now that, look, what this man is calling for, his ideologies, they are within his rights. Calling for self-determination. It's not terrorism. We do not see Nnamdi Kanu as a terrorist. The elites, the political leaders in the Southeast have been speaking, they have been putting out statements. And we are glad that he has drawn enough attention to himself and to his plight, that everybody now is coming together to stand united and speak with one voice that, look, we should rally around him and believe in his cause. So the general feeling is that of disappointment. We are all hopeful that Nnamdi Kanu will be released. And like the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Benjamin Kanu, the way he appealed to Igbos in his statement, I read it, and he called for calm. We have seen Bianco Ojukwu calling for calm too. We have seen the governor of Abia State, Dr. Alex Oti, asking everybody to calm down, that the Southeast governors would try their possible best to ensure that a political solution is applied to Nnamdi Kanu's case. So everybody believes that, everybody in the Southeast especially, believes that this is selective justice, that he has not committed any crime, and that calling for self-determination cannot be interpreted to be a terrorist act.
All right, Dr. Ngoladi, thank you for setting the tone for the conversation. I'd like to ask you two questions. First will be to know what sort of political solution you will be looking for, you'll be hoping for, or that you think that the Southeast governors and those who are supporting Kanu's cause will be working towards. Will it be to let the law run its course? Because, of course, Kanu will have the opportunity to appeal the verdict, and that if it goes all the way to Supreme Court, maybe possibly appeal to the conscience of the president for the sort of clemency that he granted a few people a few weeks ago. Will that be the option that you'll be looking at, since you have highlighted that a political solution was still possible? The second part of my question will be to ask you if you have any message to the families of many people who reports claim were killed, some, badly massacred on account of the orders that Kanu allegedly issued in many of his broadcasts. As you may be aware, 99% of such people are also of Igbo extraction in Igbo land. What do you say to those? Their families who have lost, loved ones who were killed, many instances over several years, on account of the fact that Nnamdi Kanu allegedly issued direct instructions to have them exterminated if they flouted his orders. Civilians, police officers, military personnel, etc. What do you say to those people on account of this judgment now?
Oh, thank you very much. First of all, let me commend the Southeast governors and other political leaders in the Southeast who have been trying their best, including traditional rulers, to ensure that Nnamdi Kanu is released from DSS custody and pardoned. So we are looking at a presidential pardon, where everybody would come together at the negotiation table. And even if it's a conditional release, let him be released. I believe that that would douse the tension in the Southeast, and that the economic and social activities that has been negatively affected by Nnamdi Kanu's incarcerations. And let me make it clear that Nnamdi Kanu has consistently disowned the sit-at-home order, and that what actually happened is that some criminal elements, non-state actors, have taken advantage of his detention to unleash mayhem on people in the Southeast. And Southeasterners, majority of them has consistently, denied the fact that it's Nnamdi Kanu that gave direct orders for people to be massacred. And I wouldn't want to use that word massacre, because what we find in the Southeast is just a kind of spillover of the heightened insecurity in Nigeria, whereby people are being kidnapped and are killed and all whatnot in some states of the Southeast. The sit-at-home order is more or less like a solidarity to Nnamdi Kanu, who has been in custody now for a couple of years. Well, I sympathize with families that have lost loved ones in the Southeast. But like I said before, majority of Ndigbo does not view Nnamdi Kanu as a terrorist. They see him from that prism of someone who is drawing attention to the marginalization of his people, a catalyst for change, who wants the Igbo people to be carried along in the scheme of things in Nigeria. When it comes to infrastructure and political appointments, where you notice that the Igbos have been, openly marginalized, whereby what should come naturally to Igbo people, Igbos are not carried along in the Southeast, and that is what he's fighting for. And I believe that if before now the federal government, the government at the center, have paid attention to what Nnamdi Kanu is agitating for, it wouldn't have escalated to this level, whereby he's being imprisoned. Recall that during the Niger Delta struggle, during the administration of Yar'Adua, the federal government waded into the matter by bringing the Niger Delta militants to a roundtable, and discussions were held, and the matter was settled amicably without kinetic force. The Yar'Adua called for dialogue, and all of us can see the resultant effects of that dialogue. So when another geopolitical zone or another region of the country is agitating for something, I believe that the federal government should give them a listening ear, at least. Bring them to the round table. You know what they are agitating for. We proffer solutions. It's always better to judge than to war. The punitive measure that has been handed down to Nnamdi Kanu, I don't think it has solved the problem. There will be a lot of security and political implications, whereby non-state actors may want to take advantage of it, especially when it comes to Monday sit-at-home order, which the governors have made a lot of effort. Normalcy was gradually returning. So this would kind of reduce the efforts of the Southeast governors, who we believe have done their best to ensure that economic activities and social activities go on every Monday. We know the amount of the huge economic losses that the sit-at-home order on Mondays has caused the Southeast. So I think that we should all come together for a political solution. And the first political solution I'm looking at is that there should be a presidential pardon. Yes, his lawyer has made it clear that they are going to appeal the matter, and may also, from the appeal court, they may also go to the Supreme Court. I don't want this matter to continue to escalate to the appeal court.
Daalụ nne maka isonyere anyị n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị taata na Igbo Media. Ọ bụ na ihe anyị na-ewetara gị dị gị mma, gbaa mbọ gbasaa ozi a ma mekwa ka ozi a rute ụmụnna anyị n'ebe dị iche iche aka. Ngwa ka ọ dị.